Hello, all, welcome. Alan here, Alan's Chronicles. So what have I got in line today? You'll see by the thumbnail, it's a title. Mother is the name for God on the lips and hearts of all children. Movie buff, you'll know. 1994, The Crow. And I remember watching that film, and this isn't a movie review, but that line, not the scene's different from what the line is in tune with what the scene is, but you pull that line out and it's a big thing. Mother is the name. See, the way you read it, mother is the name for God on the lips and hearts of all children. And I've always thought about it since the day I said it, since I saw the movie. And sometimes it'll come back to me, sometimes it didn't. Then I lost my mum, as we all do. I'm 60. You don't get to 60, really. Most of us without losing one of our parents, if not both. And it's not a sadness thing. I'm sad, but in a natural way. And I remember growing up, and I guess my thought is in 2026, mother is still sacred, but it's not central to what women are. You could argue that. Doesn't make me right, but you could argue it. I remember growing up, and my mom had lots of boys, lots of sons. And she used to say things. And you kind of, this little diminutive figure, that ruled my life in a positive way. You want to hear when men will tell you, not in a Freudian way or in a pejorative way. There was nothing more important to me, nothing more daily that I thought of than my mother. Because obviously she gave birth to me, she created me. My dad's a different story, and it's a great story. It's not a bad story, but dads are different. My mum used to say, she once said that later in life, and I'd say, oh, I never saw you go out with like your friends and stuff. Well, she said, well, I had loads of kids, so it wasn't easy. She says, but when I did go out, it was with your dad, and I prefer the company of men. And I kind of didn't understand it till I thought about it. First of all, she'd raised sons, lots of them. And I mean lots of them. But I asked her once, why? Well, what do you mean? I kind of... You could have serious conversations with your mum, but they always came with the story. And she said it was just easier. Men are just easier. And it wasn't that patronizing trope of the easiest way to a man is through his stomach, blah, 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 to his heart, blah, blah. No, she just said it's straightforward. There's no games to be played. In men's company, because I was with your dad, so I was never sat on my own. That was it. That they would just talk about what they meant. And I was like, okay. And she never got deeply into that. And I never thought much about that. But you just look at history. You've got Shakti and Gaia and Ninsarak, and there's all sorts of, for 10,000 years, women have been sacred ideologically, religiously, in society. And yet we have society constructs systems, and the system became the post-war, was very labor intensive. You had the breakdown of the family. It turns into two people having to go into work. Does that erode the women's position that they had just anyway, whether we liked it or not? There's lots of different arguments, but I guess my question is, if mother is still a sacred word in 2026, have women forgotten that it's them? Because that line, the name for God on the lips and hearts of all children, whatever your religion is, that's I guess I would struggle to argue with that. So why are we in a position in today's society? Is it capitalism? First, second, third, fourth, 53rd wave of feminism? Yeah. If you're a feminist, at what stage of feminism are you? If you're a male, if you're a misandrist, a misogynist, why? There's extremes on either side. After the war, when women had been in the workplace during war. A mass in the workplace, driving, engineering, supporting roles in engineering, all those different things. Many had the chance to stay in positions and they went back home. Now, why did they do that? And I guess, look, guys, you historians, you sociologists, you're all going to come on and tell me why. You're going to give me both sides of the coin. It was either oppression back into the workplace because the patriarch demanded it, or it was women wanted it because they wanted to get back to raising families, or because it was a joint feeling of, oh my God, we've just lost 500,000 men. Yeah, we need to sort of rebuild society. But it's a big question. Is mother still sacred? But why don't women feel central? Yeah. I'll leave it at that, guys. Maybe you can answer.